My moms and dad can't leave me, Temu screamed as he saw Jungkook and a few men were taking his parents away. No, Mom, Dad, please don't leave me, Temu continuously screaming for his parents to come back while Temu was trying to console him. But I can't. How can anyone understand this poor soul pain who lost both of his parents in just a blink of a second? Temu cried and cried until he fell unconscious. Temu was crying with him and feeling his pain, and he also lost his parents at a very young age. But he knew Temu's pains were greater than him, cause that time they had his brother and Jungkook parents, but Temu didn't have anyone, and at the time he promised himself that he will be his mother. He will take care of him as his own son. And a week were passed. Temu became silent, and he only cried for his parents and asking for them to come back. He asked his Almighty to give him back his parents. He cried every time. Your Tehi is here. Temu's eyes were snapped toward the person who was sitting in front of him. With that moist eyes, his hands were fell on his lap, and he stared at Tehi with tear-stained his cheeks. The whole week Tehi didn't have any courage to talk to him because he was only crying. That only caused Tehi to cry with him. Thus, she sent Ayn with a few of his favorite video games which he had given to Tehi, but Ayn couldn't make him ready to play with her. They left him alone. Tehi, they left me alone. I don't have anyone, he mumbled as a new set of tears were fall. Tehi bowed while his tears were also falling. You're not alone. Your Tehi will always be with you, she said and wiped his tear, but he shook his head and stood up. No, you also leave me one day, like Mom and Dad. Everyone leaves. No one loves me. He begged and cried loudly. Tehi came in front of him. I love you, Temu. I love you. I promise I will never leave you. I will always be by your side. Temu stared at her innocent face, and that tear-filled eyes would just make his heart come back to its beats. You will never leave me, he asked in a hope, and she shook her head again, wiped his tears. Never ever, she declared in determination, and Temu wrapped his small arms around his small figure. Promise me you will never leave me. Promise me you will always be mine. Promise me you'll always be my Tehi. I promise you, I will always be with you, Tehi said, as after so many days he found his peace in Tehi. Temu smiled, and that sobbed with those words. 9 years later, time passed and they become closer. Love grows with the ages. Temu accept everything and live happily with Tehi and her family, even though everyone loved him and always make him feel that he was the eldest son of their son. But still, he couldn't stop the feeling that this family wasn't his. They only sheltered him. He was happy here, and with Tehi, his life became more beautiful. They both never hesitated to confess their love to each other. Tehi was more possessive toward him, as well as Temu. But Tehi became more possessive and jealous when other girls came to the frame. She never let stay with any cousin of her, not even her sister, for long. She always seems in eyes and feel anger. He never hurt Ayn and always loved her. On the other hand, Temu never let any chance to spoil Tehi. He never let anyone scold her. He always stood in front of her like a shelter. He made sure that Tehi never get close to any other boy. He dropped her to the college and picked her up as well as Ayn. So it's led them to the end up spending their time with each other more, to Tehi and Ayn feeling true. Through Tehi and Temu find their way to spend their time alone. Now, Tehi turned and fired her beautiful hair, still running, and stuck her tongue out to teasing him and continuously run on the stair. Tehi, be careful, Temu yelled, but she ran down and went to the living room. Grandmother, this cruel man wants to hurt your innocent Tehi, she yelled, and went beside Miss John, making a fake innocent face. Innocent? I know how innocent you are, you little devil, Timu yelled. They both were running here and there while he made their grandma stumble with her. Oh, what happened? She tried to balance herself and asked. Nothing. I did not do anything, I swear. Mr. and Smile and Fakel glared to her. They all know that evil Dehi sometime become with Timu. Timu smiled and tried to come back to and managed to cover. You didn't do anything, liar. He again tried to catch her, but she flew away and ran toward the kitchen followed by Timu. And Miss John would laugh seeing her head. Save me, Mama. Mama, save me, she said behind Tiong, and now was drawing the car in the kitchen. The uncle, today I won't spare her. She ruined the papers I was working on since last night. She intentionally spilled all the water on the paper. Timu came in front of Tiong and showed him he was angry. They turned to Tehi and glared at her, and Tehi pouted. It was his fault. He was not paying attention to me. So that's mean you can ruin his paperwork? That's not so acceptable, Tehi. You know he just joined the company with your daddy and tried to shelter her. You're making it difficult for him. How many times I have to tell you? Tiong was scolding her. While Timu became tense, he couldn't bear anyone raising their voice at Tehi, not even her parents. He never disrespected them, but he always did his best to save his Tehi. Uncle Tehi, it's okay. That wasn't something very important. It's okay, you don't need to scold her. I will handle her by myself. Saying that, he held her waist and dragged her out of the kitchen and went to his room. Say sorry, Timu demanded, standing in front of her, and they came into the room. Sorry, my foot. She rolled her eyes and crossed her arm. Tehi held his wrist and pulled her toward him and losing their wrapped around his arms. That's not fair, Tehi. You always made mistake, and I forgave you without asking forgiveness. He narrowed his eyes at her, and Tehi wrapped his arms around his neck. But today, I didn't make any mistake. You ruined my papers, he demanded her. I did that intentionally. I will do it again if you ignore me and don't pay attention. I don't care about your work and anything else. Your first priority should be me and only me and always be me. You are my first priority, baby. You'll always be. But what I am doing only for you, I want to prove myself to Uncle John that I am the best for his beloved daughter. I want to make you mine. I want to marry you. But before that, I want to stand on my feet and want to do many things for us, for our future. Timu confessed and stared at Tehi smiled. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Everyone knows how capable you are, and Daddy is so proud of you. It won't change anything, Tehi. I'm still someone whose your parents give shelter. In their home, there is nothing which I call mine. Everything is your parents. I'm here, and what my parents are is mine, and what mine is here, she explained with a smile, making a wild smile come to his lips. Yes, you are mine. He placed a soft kiss on her forehead, and she hugged him. I love you, Temu, he said, and murmured into her neck. I love you too.